Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to lovely sunny RAF Lossiemouth. Aspen, the squadron dog there, looking up at the sky thinking, what a wonderful day, what a wonderful day to take to the air in a helicopter and save some virtual lives. And that's exactly what we're going to do. It's Monday. It's very unusual for me to fly on a Monday, and certainly to stream on a Monday, but I got a day off, or some of a day off, and I thought, to hell with it, let's do a quick stream. Don't know how many missions this is going to be, it depends on how it goes, but at least we can get some flying in, and the weather's not too bad. It's quite moody, but yeah, it's not too bad at all. Okay, so first of all we need to get Squadron Dog Aspen back in, so I'm just going to pack him away, bless him, put him in his little box back in the hangar. And that is us good to go, although there is one thing I do want to do, and I just realised I haven't got it switched on. I need to turn on the Rex Atmos beta. I use the Andrew Bennett preset, so just going to wait for that to kick in. Sometimes initially after it kicks in it's like, oh my, it's gone all dark and murky, but you soon get used to it, and actually it feels quite realistic. But it's there, it is, it's kind of kicked in now, so that's okay. Okay, right, let's put that away. Hello to everyone in the chat. Beacon, don't know if that's how you pronounce it, mate, but good day to you. Robert Hadfield, hello. And fried chicken, thank you for planting that thought in my mind. I wouldn't mind a bit of fried chicken right now. Anyway, okay, so very quickly from the top, just to talk about what we've got here. We've got the high performance group H145. We have got the high performance group action pack. We have got the critical random and anywhere, HEMS random and anywhere, that's what it's called on flightsim.to mod, which is what enables us to fly random and anywhere, which if you know it, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never seen it before, then hopefully you'll get an idea of it today, but you can customize it, but we're literally going to use it, and it's random and anywhere. So I don't know what we're going to be doing. We have got the wonderful Kickers voice mod, which gives us some more realistic voices with a radio effect. We have got the M. Gonzalez M. Gonzalez H145 sound pack, and we've got the Demo Designs 202 Squadron seeking helicopter repaint, and we're here at RAF Lossiemouth, where 202 flew from, so it's all in keeping with that. Brilliant. Okay, right. Well, I really do need to get this thing started up. Okay, so as usual with this mod, the first thing that we need to do is wonder why the tablet hasn't switched on. That's interesting. That never happens. I swear to God, I say it every time. Every time something weird happens in the sim. We have got a blank tablet. Okay, I'm going to try something. I started up the sim just before, just to test a couple of things, and it was working absolutely fine. So that's what you get for testing. So the battery's on and it's still not, so I can't rule, well, I can rule out flat battery. It's obviously just not doing its thing. So let's try something. We're going to restart. God, it'd be boring if it was easy, wouldn't it? Flight simming. Why didn't I just stick with something simple like, I don't know, trying to think of a simple game. A game where you don't have to always tweak it and try and adjust things and try and get things to work. Okay, let's see what happens this time. I really don't want to have to restart the whole sim again. That's not a good way to start a stream, but let's have a look. There we go. Now you've come back to life. It's funny, I've never seen that happen before. Yeah, odd. Okay, let me just check the battery. The battery is off. Okay, so we get the maps and missions. Oh, let's just... no, I'll come on to that. Let's go maps and missions. Yeah, Frogger, much easier. Much less hassle. Right, so we turn it on from here before we've powered up the helicopter. And this is creating our HEMS ecosystem, as it were. This is what's going to allow us to fly these random and anywhere missions. Okay, so that's fine. I'm happy with that distance. I am happy with those. I am just going to go on to missions management. Yeah, I thought so. Let's just... So we're going to have... I want to enable everything. What I was doing previously was I was messing about with just trying to fly certain missions. So this is where the customization comes in. Say, for example, you just want to do search and rescue, then you can disable all the other mission types so that the only thing that you're going to get is search and rescue. So I'm just going to keep going through those because I want to open up all the possibilities. I just want it to chuck anything at us. Okay, so that's all good. Keep going. Keep going. There's a lot to get through. I mean, you kind of get an idea of how many different missions there are. And essentially what this mod is going to do is going to look at the map, look at the surrounding area, and it's going to give us a random mission, but based on what is actually in our area. It's very clever. Let's keep going. There's probably an easy way of doing this, but can't think of it at the time. But as I say, if anything, it's kind of showing you exactly how many different things there are. And this mod is built by a real-world flying instructor on Airbus helicopters. So he's got an eye for detail, and he certainly builds everything into it. So we will just keep going down. I mean, you really are getting an idea of all the different types of missions that we have here. And, you know, the condition of the patient when we arrive is always different. They might be in a stable state, they might be conscious, they might be unconscious. You never know. Okay, so that's all good. We've done that. So we'll go back to the main screen. I'm going to select single player. And now it's telling us that we're not connected to the mission center. So this is the bit where we go battery on. Let's get some lights on because we're going to start winging things around. And our mission radio is this little box here. So we're just waiting for that to come alive. In the meantime, we'll just fiddle with a few bits here. Just acknowledge those. There we go. Push call to connect. So we'll do that. There's our ground crew. And at some point, our helicopter crew will appear from somewhere. They usually come from a building of some sort. So we're just waiting for the first mission. And this accurately kind of represents the idea that you don't bang straight away suddenly get a mission. It might take a while. There we go. You can just see them just above the machines that go ping. They're just walking through. That's the crew walking out from the building. And that's all part of the HEMS Random and Anywhere
ready for the missions?
setup. By the way, if the volume gets a little bit too high, either my voice or the helicopter, so you can't hear one or the other, please do feel free to give me a shout and tell me. I always find that the settings are slightly different. Okay, we've got a mission.
Hey Frank, good morning.
A missing person has been reported 2 days ago. Rescue area may require specialised heli rescues and medical assistance. This is the kind of mission that I love. So this is going to send us off into the wilderness somewhere, and we're going to be picking up heli rescuers.
Hi, Captain. Helicopter is ready to fly.
Due to impervious conditions of the accident site,
full.
we should evaluate to call on board
If you need
expert heli
refueling, please
rescuers.
ask.
Use the tablet to decide if we continue alone,
Thank you,
or if we take the heli rescuers
Jack.
on board.
Okay, everyone's finished chatting. So we're going to select to pick the heli rescuer. So that's a good. So what do we got? At least one injured, waiting for information. A missing person has been reported 2 days ago. Rescue area may require specialised heli rescuers and medical assistance. Waiting information about rescue vehicles present, because again it simulates other rescue vehicles on the way, and we don't know what they've got. We've got a search and rescue mission. So received position is the last position before contact lost. Exact location is actually unknown. Hence why we is searching. Okay, so let's come out of that and let's start the engine. Right, you ready, Sunshine? Let's get you outside. That's interesting. Am I imagining it? Or, oh no, it's all right. I thought there was some weird animation for the rotors turning, but there isn't.
Preparing for engine starting sequence. 1, 2.
There we go. Out you get, Sunshine. Out into the cold. Hey, Binky, how you doing? I hope all is good with you.
Area clear. Ready to start engine 1.
Okay, so quick check. Battery's good. There's the rotors, that's good. Yeah, I think it was just that weird kind of flickering in the visor that looked like it was some kind of animation, but it wasn't.
GPU disconnected. Ready
Okay,
to go. Good day.
so we've got oil pressure, M1 rising, TOT rising. That's all looking good.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine.
Excellent.
Engine clear.
Start engine 2. M1 rising. TOT rising and oil pressure is rising.
All engines started successfully.
Okay, that's good. So we've got 2 good starts. Happy with that. Happy with all that stuff down there. So now we can
Hold on. Performing leak checks.
wind everything up while he's doing his leak checks. Get some heat on. It's a little bit cold. I've got live weather, live time. By the way, it was in the description. If you want to come along and fly along, you are more than welcome. We're on Western Europe and we're at EGQS Lossiemouth, Echo Golf Quebec Sierra. Okay, that's all good. Quick look down. Acknowledge.
Okay, all good.
Okay, I'm going to get that ready because we're going to turn the TORS warning off, because if we're flying into mountains, then that's going to get
TORS system test okay.
mighty annoying, because that's what helicopters do. Okay, so we're picking up our heli rescuer from this area. In this case, it would be a mountain rescue specialist, and then we're going to come over to our search area here. So that's all good. So let's come back to here. TORS inhibit. We've got good visibility today, so we don't need to worry about that too much. The other thing we need to do, we are using the mission for navigation, so we need to set TDS Sim GTNXI, because that's all I've got, to MSFS, and then we can come back into here, and then you'll see that we've got nothing on there, and our white line on there is our line on there to the target, to our heli rescuer, is white. So for some reason with the TDS GTNXI, I don't know if it's the same with PMS, you have to cycle it by pressing the home button, and then you can see we've got a distance and that line's turned blue, so everything is cool. Okay, so let's now do a quick system check. So we'll put this to pre-flight. Just let it do its thing. It's going to have a look, have a sniff around, just to make sure that everything's working as it should do. That's good. Okay, so we've got startup test okay, pre-flight test okay. That's all marvellous. Leave that there for the time being. We'll come back up here. We can now put that back to there. Happy with everything else. I'm going to put the landing light on now. Back down here. Let's have engines to flight, checking that my collective lever is down, because that would be embarrassing. Everything is winding up nicely. Waiting for that to get to 101, and now we can just pop on the stability systems, check that they have held. They have, and that's all good. So we have no warnings here now, and we have 2 good engines. What more could you ask for? Okay, so wind is coming from ahead, which is handy, but we've got a big post there, so we will lift. We will slide over to the right a bit and then head off into wind, and then we are all good to go. Happy lads? Look at them, couldn't be happier. Okay, so cyclic trim release is on, holding that in, and we can lift. Quick hover check, that's all good, no warnings, just slide over now. And off we go. This is Nick B007's Lossiemouth, by the way. It's available on flightsim.to.
VTOS.
Really nice bit of scenery. I used to live up here in the 80s, so it's changed a lot since then, but it still brings back memories. Okay, so just keeping an eye on everything. Keeping an eye on the speed, we don't want to overcook it. It's not a particularly sunny day, but it's not too bad. Visibility is still relatively good. Quite realistic lighting and everything, considering it's December day. Be interesting to see as we get deeper into the hills if we see any snow. I would kind of expect to see something, maybe on the tops. Okay, so I am just going to keep a bit of a climb in. So this is actually quite realistic in terms of what we're doing. It's interesting, it's given us a search and rescue mission anyway, but after opening everything else up. But this is actually the kind of mission that I like doing. It's a kind of a classic mission that 202 would have done from Lossie, heading off into the Cairngorms, looking for a missing hiker or perhaps someone who's injured, with the help of the local mountain rescue team and also the RAF rescue mountain rescue team. So just keeping that climb in. We have got some lumpy and bumpy to go over. More 320. How are you able to hold down the cyclic trim release like that? For some reason it just turns on for maybe half a second for me before turning off again. I'm wondering if I'm missing a setting. Okay, so the critical thing you need to do is, so for example in my setup I've got a Warthog grip, and the Warthog grip has got a pinky switch in front of it. Okay, I'm just going to, let's now lock it onto autopilot and we'll couple up. There we go. Coupling up to the flight plan, so it's just going to do a bit of a right turn now to get us back on course, but then it will follow the flight plan to the heli rescuer. And I'm just going to use the hat switch on my collective just to keep a bit of a climb in. You have to be careful on autopilot. The H145 in this sim has a tendency to suddenly over torque. If you get a blast of wind or something like that, you can suddenly find yourself over torquing, and it's not great. You can damage your engine and then you're in trouble. So we're being a little bit careful with that. Sorry, yes, so I was just saying, so your cyclic trim release, I've got it mapped to a pinky trigger on my grip, so I can very easily just hold that on when I'm maneuvering the cyclic stick. You know that anyway, I'm just explaining it, my setup. For it to work properly though, you've got to make sure that you've got the whatever binding that you're using, there's two ways you can do it. Okay, just bear with me a second. Just watching the helicopter, it's just behaving a little bit strangely. I think probably because of some turbulence. Okay, that's settled a bit. Yeah, there's probably well, there's two ways you can do it. You can either use a latch mode, which I've never used, so I don't know how that works. Apart from there's some kind of key bind, you press it and it will stay on for you, and then you press it again and it comes off. If you're using the binding I've got, which is kind of hinged on you holding it on, then you also need to make sure that your binding that you've got in the simulator. Sorry, I'm trying
500.
trying to fly and talk at the same time, which is not a good thing with my feeble brain. Yeah, you need to make sure that you've got input repetition set up on your control. So when you get a chance, go into your bindings, have a look at your key bind for the cyclic trim release, and just double check that you've got input repetition set. Hopefully that'll do the trick. Hopefully that will solve the issue for you. So just scooting over the top now, we are 2 minutes out. 2 minutes out from picking up the mountain rescue peeps. And normally it's quite nice. Normally they pick like a sports field or an open field, and we should hopefully see a rescue vehicle and a couple of people down there, and then we can take on our mountain rescue guy.
Two nautical miles from pickup location.
Okay, so we're going to come off autopilot now. Yeah, have a look more, because I reckon that will fix it for you. By the way, Streamlabs has been very diligent in popping it in the chat, but there is a Discord. We do have a Discord with a very healthy helicopter community on it, so if you want to come along and say hello, then pop in there. And by the way, if anyone is joining in the sim, do give me a shout. As I said, we're on the Western Europe server. Okay, I need to concentrate on flying. So let's come in.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
500.
Oh, that's good news, Keith. Yeah, I've not flown the one that's come with the update, but I understand it's pretty similar to the kind of full version thing. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. It is a lovely helicopter. Okay, so there we go. There's our football pitch. There's our rescue vehicle. I mean, this mod is so clever. The mod has just kind of seen a football pitch in the map, and that's where it's placed the location. So that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to close the tablet now just to give us more visibility. Wind is coming from the front, so I'm just going to swing us round, and then we can land on the field. See, we've got some personnel down there. Wind isn't too heavy. So obstacles, we've got some cable running over there, so we need to make sure that we don't prang into that. Just get a little bit closer. Not too close, don't want to give him a haircut. Just enough to give him a thrill. There we go.
Wow.
We're down. We're down. Yeah, it is, Keith. You're absolutely right. I think I've not looked at it myself, but I've been told by someone that the free version that's just been released, although it's Taug's Hangar, it doesn't have all the features of the original one. That's kind of what I meant, but I don't know. I've not looked at it myself. Okay, so we've put the engines to idle.
Helicopter in position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
Right, which one of you Muppets is coming in? Here he comes. Well done, lad. So he's going to jump in. Do not walk through the nose of my aircraft. There we go. Come round, in through the door. Okay, quick look down. All is good. So we've now got a route to the accident site. We've got a distance here, so I know that my nav is all set up. We can put engines back to flight. Quick look around, obstacles, trees in the front, buildings behind, and those nasty cables that we had. Wind is on the nose still, so that's all good. So lift, hover check, and then up over the trees, and off we go. On into the wilderness. Quick look down, no warning messages. Quick hover check. Yeah, all's good. Nothing wrong with the engine. So this is the town of Rothus, as you can see from the map there. So we'll do a quick turn over here.
BY.
Keeping a climb in. Hey, Akritai. Okay, yeah. I've not looked at it. I've no idea what is different about it. But the Huey is beautiful, and the sounds. If it's anything like the full version or the original version, then the sounds, the rotor slap is exquisite music. If you're into helicopters, you can't beat the bit of rotor slap. It's the drumbeat of life. Getting a bit dramatic there, really, aren't I? Okay, let's pop over the top here, keeping that climb. Don't really need the VMS at this stage, so let's have you over there. Let's have you there. Give him something to look at. He likes a good map. Now you can see on the far left, on the MFD on the far left, we've got a like a crosshairs centre, and then we've got our red circle.
We will find an ambulance not far away from accident area. They are unable to reach the site.
So that's our search area, and we have to search. This is no fly to point A and then ping, magically you load someone on and off you go. We are going to have to look for this, and luckily, and this again, this mod is so damn clever, my crew are looking out as well, so I can concentrate on flying the helicopter, and these lads, you're right, yes, they will look out the window for me, and more than often they will see the missing person, casualty, whatever you want to call them, first, because of course I'm health and safety, folks. Fly the helicopter first. Roberts just said, waiting for the ride of the Valkyrie's background music. I always have that in my head when I'm flying the Huey low level. There's, it's inescapable.
I set a possible hospital destination for our patient. Infos are available on tablet.
I
We can
can't.
confirm or change later.
Can't quite believe it's a Monday and I'm flying HEMS missions. Normally I'd be doing the day job at the start of a working week, which I'll be doing tomorrow now, but what a nice change. I didn't know that many people would be available to watch at this point, but it looks like we've got a good crowd watching, so welcome everybody. Good to have you along. Hang on a minute, what's that? RR Loco watching from the beaches of the Gulf Coast of Florida. Wow. Wow. I envy you. I envy you, but welcome. It's good to have you here. And yeah, we are definitely, for this kind of thing, I always have it on multiplayer in case anyone wants to fly along, so you're more than welcome to do that. You don't see the mission assets or anything like that, but you can still have a look and have an enjoyable flight. Okay, so we're coming up on our last known location now, but obviously there's nothing here, so we'll just start the search pattern here. We could use the GTN-XI. We could plumb a you know, like a SAR pattern into it, and we could fly that, which is great for where the terrain is flat or where you're out at sea. But
I believe we found something. Check on tablet.
well, that breaks all records. And I was so busy talking to you, I wasn't even looking. I was concentrating on flying and talking, but the lads have spotted someone, so let's go back. Royal Air Force in action. Look at that efficiency.
9 o'clock.
I just want to get visual myself now.
11 o'clock.
Down there somewhere. Where's the wind? Wind coming from the right. So once I can see them, conscious of those wires. Right, let's drift around here because I want to see. I've got better visibility outside, out of this side. Right, let's continue. Watching the wire.
Target is in front of us.
Roger, target ahead. Load torpedoes.
Yes, confirmed. We found our target.
I love how excited they get. I must admit, if you've been searching for half an hour or so, I get excited as well. There, can you just see there's someone lying on the ground down there? Look at that. That's how tricky it is to spot them. Okay, wind is coming from there. However, I do have cables in the way, so I'm not going to necessarily come in with the wind on the nose, but what I will do is hop over the cables and we'll come back on ourselves, and let's pick up this poor unfortunate. Just close the tablet. There they are. Just about see them. Unless I'm imagining it. Am I imagining it? No. There they are. So we didn't really need mountain rescue, but I guess it's always good to have them along. I wondered if this was going to be, you know, a proper mountain job. Just on a slope here. There we go. Okay, engines to idle. Let's pop open the panel. So this is where the simulation kicks in again. What's going to happen now is that
Prepare for ground operations.
there we go. HEMS is all about taking the expertise of the hospital to the patient. So our doctor, because we have a doctor, and our very experienced paramedic are going to jump out. They're going to go over and they're going to have a look at the patient. Because we have got a heli rescuer or mountain rescue with us as well, what sometimes happens is that they go out first and it's called kind of securing the area, but basically it means that the people that have got the expertise of being up in the mountains are going to have a look around, make sure it's as safe as can be, and then our lads will go in and do what they need to do. So I suspect that's the mountain rescue guy going to have a look, checking around the ground and all that kind of stuff, checking for killer squirrels. Killer squirrels are always a danger doing this kind of job. You never quite know what's going to happen. I'm just going to lock off the head tracking because then I can have a slug of tea. So we'll just let him do his thing. Quick catch up with the chat. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, Robert, there was something. I mean, High Performance Group, they did have at some point, I never used them, I must admit, they did have a kind of multiplayer servers where you could do joint stuff, but I don't think at the moment it works with Random and Anywhere, but it's possible to do it using the High Performance Group servers. But as I say, it's something I've never done, so I'm not sure. I just love using Random and Anywhere because I don't know what I'm going to get, and that's what it's all about. It's kind of clocking on to do a shift.
Helicopter in position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
Okay, so that's that. You can see the note down on the tablet. Heli rescue has secured the area. Procedures may now continue. So he's done his thing. He's checked for squirrels, landslides, all that kind of stuff. And we're good. So doctor, info from doctor, estimated ground operations time, it's gone now. It said 1 minute, so I'm not going to close the helicopter down. We'll keep the engine running. There's not a great deal of point in closing it down, only to, by the time we've done that, they'll start walking over and we'll be starting up again. Let's pop outside. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Let's go and have a wander. There we go. Hang on a minute, I'm coming. There we go. Okay, so first thing, mate, is if you're going to go out and about in the hills, please don't wear pyjamas. Okay? That's the pilot's advice. I know you've got some medical people around you who are far more equipped to talk to you medically, but as a pilot, I'm telling you, don't wear your PJs in areas like this. Look at that. Let's go and have a look at the helicopter. Oh, let me just there we go. That is a lovely repaint, isn't it? Damo Designs. He's done a lovely one for the Scottish Air Ambulance as well, but love that repaint. Beautiful. Right, enough of that. Let's get back in the cockpit. Break out the Mars bars and all the other things. Let me lock off the head tracking. So if I now quickly get this up. So we've got ambulance on the way to the accident, and that ambulance is actually on the way. There is an ambulance in the sim on the way to this position now. That's how it works. And police as well, and there's a police car on the way. It is so detailed, it's just amazing. We'll look at the medical diagnostic page. They've hooked up a heart rate monitor. What have we got? Unconscious, that's not good. Emergency code 2 is immediate risk of serious injury, that's not great. And they've got a life score of 41 between 0 and 100, that speaks for itself. Heart rate of 83 beats per minute, oxygen saturation level 99.3%. Okay, 66 years, male, unconscious. So would you be if you went out in your PJs in this kind of weather. Not clever. Mike, how are you doing? Good to have you along, mate. My pleasure, Binky. It was lovely flying that Mustang. It really is, with that mod, that Randall Snow mod and the Echo 19 sound pack, that Asobo Mustang really is great fun. Can't recommend it enough. Robert, sleepwalking is bad. Yeah, exactly. Quickly, while they're loading him back on, let me show you. Okay, let's just quickly accept that. We're going to Regmore, we're going to Inverness. Love it, my favourite hospital to go to. Okay, let's quickly, if we go on to, so you can see where we are. We took off from Lossie, we flew to Rothis to pick up Mountain Rescue. We flew across here. This is where we've landed, so between Craigend and what's that, Kellis, and now we are going to head over here to Regmore Hospital. So that's where we are off to. Okay, right, boarding is complete.
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
It is now. There we go. I just wanted to double check that because it didn't sounded like it was. Right, everything's good up there. Happy with that. Let's have engines to flight. Pop that up so we can just keep an eye on it. Just waiting for this to get to 101. So, obstacles, trees, power lines over there. Wind is coming from the left, so I'm going to lift. We need sufficient height to clear the power lines, head off into wind, and then get on course. Okay, that's alright, no warnings. Happy in the back. Yep, there's our patient strapped in, good. That'll teach you to go out in your PJs. So, quick lift. Hover check. Yep, all is good. Okay, let's pull some pitch. Let's rotate. There's the police car. Oh, I need to show you this. I need to show you this because it's kind of fun. Sorry, patient, don't worry, we'll get there in the end. There he is. Just to prove the point of how detailed this is. When they said the police were on the way, they weren't kidding. You're a bit late, mate. There he is. There's our police car. I love it. So much immersion with this mod. It is crazy. Okay, so we have got 25 nautical miles to run to the hospital. Being careful with the power there. Picked up some speed. Get the nose up a bit. Let's get some climb in. Everything's looking good with the engine. Just going to momentarily change that. There we go. So I'm just balancing the speed, the collective. You can see that yellow band there. That yellow band is like a temporary power that you can use for takeoff, but you don't want to have it in for too long. If it goes into the red, you're braking the helicopter and you get into a lot of trouble. There's the ambulance. So the ambulance is on the way now. I won't. He is back there. I don't think we'll see him. I'm trying to keep my head still and fly the aircraft as well, but no. He's way back there on that road. But you get the idea. Right, there's the red marks of doom. Need to watch that. Anyway, how the devil is everybody? Hope you're all well. I'm hoping to get another stream in before Christmas. Love doing this kind of stuff. Just keeping that climb in. Okay, so I'm now going to switch to autopilot and couple it to the nav. So there we are. Helicopter's now doing it. Now this is where I have to have eyes like a hawk, because as I said before, it's very easy to over talk
500
when it's in autopilot. So I need to watch that doesn't happen. I'm being a little bit careful with the speed. You see that the power ribbon on the left there all of a sudden started spiking up, and that's kind of what happens. But I'm just going to increase the speed a little bit. Turn on the HTORs on the middle MFD as well. So we've got it on the TDS, and we've also got it on the HTORs. Oh, sorry, on the middle PFD there. Definitely been lucky with the weather so far. There's nothing too bad going on. Wind isn't too strong. Cloud seeding is high enough that it doesn't cause any problems, and isn't that scenery just gorgeous? This is why I love flying up here, because you just get scenes like that. Right, so I've just felt the helicopter, I saw the helicopter pitch up nose a little bit, so just keeping an eye on that. Good to have you along, Keith. How are we all doing? Excellent. Okay, let's have a quick check-up on the patient, because we've got the equivalent of me saying to the doctor, how's he doing? Do we need to go faster, slower? I just need to get the click spot, so bear with. There we go. We'll go to oh, we got a bit more information. Symptoms: fallen from greater than 3 meter height. So not only was he in his PJs, he was climbing the trees. That's just silly. So he was unconscious on arrival, which you know is always going to be bad news. He's still emergency code 2, and his condition is 43. So what happens is it simulates our crew in the back working on the patient. So as we're flying along, they're trying to stabilise the patient, trying to make their condition as best as they can, and sometimes they do start to improve. Conversely, sometimes they start to get worse, so you never quite know what is going to come your way. Hence random and anywhere. That's the brilliant thing about it. You don't know what it's going to do, and I love that aspect of it. Okay, so we're 12 minutes out. Have a quick jump outside. I'm always so reticent to do this because it's always when you jump outside that it suddenly goes in, the autopilot suddenly flies you into overtalk. But let's have a look. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, enough of that. Fly the helicopter, you'll fall. This is what happens, I get carried away. I'm looking outside, I'm moving the views around, and then all of a sudden wallop. It's happened before where I've actually there was quite a few people flying with me, and I was in drone view, and of course, as you know, in drone view you have no control over the helicopter or aeroplane anymore. And I was so busy saying, oh, look at that, there's a Huey over there, there's a 500C over there, and then helicopter started going into a nosedive because it had overtalked, and we crash landed, which was a bit disappointing, and not a good advert, I have to say, not a good advert, but we were okay in the end. 10 minutes out, let's have a quick check on the patient again, just in case. In fact, let's leave that up there. We can keep an eye on that. Just put the head tracking back on. Isn't it lovely? Look at that. Look at that view. This is what it's about, isn't it? Hey, that co-pilot, he's not never very communicative, but sometimes you see that faint hint of a smile on his face, and you know that actually he loves doing it. Right in the back, there's the doctor with his sunglasses on. Doctor's always wearing sunglasses. Yeah, you. He is Mr. Cool. See the Murray Firth over there. Inverness in the far distance. Quick check down here just to make sure everything's looking good, which it is, and we've got no warnings. So I'm happy with that. Fuel's good. Excuse me, apologies for the cough. Kaiser Sausage, I'm thinking of getting the Virpil CDT Aero Max stick and throttle. Yeah, I've never used it, never heard much about it. Oh, I don't need one, Robert. I've got this livery that I'm flying is honestly, it's good enough for me. It's kind of a tribute to 202 Squadron, who flew from Lossiemouth and Sea Kings. I lived up here in the 80s for a short time, I had the pleasure in sitting in one of the search and rescue Sea Kings, not as a customer, I'm pleased to say. This for me is a personal repaint, if I'm honest. I'm more than happy with this one. It's the one I've been using all year. Previous year I used the 84 Squadron from Akrotiri repaint, from Panther repaints, and this year I've used this one. And I had intended potentially to switch to a new one next year, but I've decided I'm just going to stay with this. It's as close to home as could be, really. And I've got a picture of this particular this Sea King X-Ray Zulu 588. I've actually got a picture of her on the wall behind me. So yeah, it's good for me. I've just noticed a strange little stutter creeping in there. Interesting. Might have gone now. You never know when something funny's going on server side. So what do we got? 6 minutes out. That's all good. Patient condition has gone up 1 notch. It's gone from 43 to 44. So that means the guys in the back are, you know, getting him into a slightly better position than he was before. Probably just by the sheer fact he's not just dressed in PJs anymore, the great Wally. Excuse me. I don't mean to cough in your ear. Okay, so Rakemoor's a really nice helipad. There's some tall buildings there. There's a couple of masts in the vicinity that we have to be a little bit careful of, but it's kind of a nice, relatively open space to land in. Doesn't represent much of a challenge as Inverness Airport, where there's an air ambulance station there. Five minutes out. You excited for the landing? Of course he is. Yeah, look at that. I can tell by the way he turned his head. He did it in an excitable way, didn't you? Yeah. Now, I think something I am going to do is let's have a quick look. So QNH Inverness is 0999, so I'm going to just pop that. Just doing it gently so that the helicopter doesn't do anything silly. Because by changing this, obviously it's going to put a bit of a climb in. There we go. Come back, come back. There we go. Oh, stupid thing. It's reset to... It had reset to standard. That was my fault. There we go. Change this one on as well on the backup. Come back, come back. Sometimes getting the click spot right is tricky. Okay, so where are we? 3 minutes out. So I'm going to start putting in a descent using the hat switch on the collective. Going to get rid of this now. Now that we are fully in pilot mode. Right, quick check of the chat. Salmon, those displays look super vibrant. Do you use reshade or something similar? I don't, but I tell you what it is, and it's actually a very good point. I've got them turned up. See, I can turn them down. I've got them turned up from the last mission that I did, or the last flight I did. I had to adjust the luminosity. So again, that's another cool little feature. And well spotted, sir. Well spotted, but you can adjust those. Right, 2 minutes out.
500.
I'm going to come off autopilot now. So cyclic release on, autopilot off. You can see Inverness up ahead. You can see the bridge. Wind is just slightly
2 nautical miles from the hospital.
to the left, which is fine. That's actually quite a nice direction for what we're doing. So I don't think you can probably see it yet. I can just about see it, but there's a big mast to the right, which I'm just keeping an eye on. It's well out of our way, but it's just something to be conscious of. Okay, there's our helipad. Checking on the wind. Going to close the tablet now so I can see.
Rear crew, we are approaching
500.
the landing site.
See the windsock on the ground now. A little bit of turbulence took us there. Popping over the trees. Getting a little bit of stuttering going on, which is a bit frustrating. But hopefully it'll remain a bit more stable.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations. This was a very good touch.
Extra Mars bar for you, Sunshine. Complimenting the pilot will get you far in this man's Royal Air Force. Okay, so engines to idle. Everything just calms down and the engines run down, and then when we hit
Helicopter in position.
magic
Rear crew, you are
numbers,
clear to start
there they
operations.
go. So let's jump outside. So there's the hospital crew. They're going to come around now and take our patient off us. There we go. Take his pyjamas as well, idiot. So, hospital crew doing their thing. And now, our guy, if I'm not mistaken, he's thinking about it. Yeah, there he goes. He's gone off to do the paperwork now. You can see we've got the message there, skip paperwork. So that's what he's doing, and it will simulate the time it takes to do the paperwork. However, that's about as interesting for you as watching paint dry. So we're going to forego that. We're going to skip the paperwork, which is another feature you can do. And there's our lad. He's back again. He'll get back on the helicopter.
Cabin secured. Ready to fly.
Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to return to the home base. So we've done our mission, we've done our thing, and now it's time for tea and medals and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll go back to... Do you know what I just realised? What we should do, really, is we should be going back here to drop off the heli rescuer, or we could do. But what I'm going to do to save a bit of time, because I forgot we had mountain rescue on board, we're going to take him to Lossie. We'll make him a cup of tea, and hopefully someone will give him a lift back down. Accept base destination. That's all good. So the other thing I want to do is dispatch control page, and I want to say we are unavailable for dispatch, because otherwise what will happen is it will keep pinging up. They'll keep sending us missions. Okay, right, quick check of everything. Everything's good. Let's have the engines to flight. That is a cowboy walk. That's a walk of confidence, that is, isn't it? Okay, engine's coming up nicely. Again, just waiting for our instrument here to read 101. Okay, obstacles. Big building in front, some buildings behind, a few trees, and not much else to worry about. Oh, just a dirty great big hospital, but we're okay. So we'll lift, rotate slightly towards the gap over there, and then we can head off into wind and get back to Lossie. Quick hover check. Everything's good. Let's continue the lift. Rotate to wind.
VTOS.
The detail in the scenery is just incredible. I mean, that's... I'm using Epic Falls helipads, but all this stuff here is just what's in the sim. And it really is quite something. Very clever. Okay, so that's all good. We haven't got a passenger on board now, so we can afford to go all beans, as it were. I'm going to just wind that out a bit because that is doing my head in. There we go. Just watching the speed there. It'd be a shame to overtalk on the way home. I've just adjusted the trim slightly to fly us round to the right, and then I'm going to go, just wait, boof, and couple, and that's us on the autopilot now. When I first learned to fly this, I rarely used the autopilot. I used to hand fly it all the time because I wanted to get used to the handling. I'd get real-world H145 pilots saying you're flying it the wrong way, you're meant to use the autopilot, and now I do. So it's kind of don't use it all the time, obviously, because otherwise it would get boring. But to simulate the real aircraft, that's what I'm doing. Interesting, that occasional stutter there. SU4 has been really quite smooth for me until today, so I don't know if it's something server side or something funny going on, but definitely getting those jolts every now and again. So I'll quickly show you on the map. Let's come over here. So we went into Raigmore. There you go, you can see the pad there. You can see how it's in the sim, it's pretty well mapped out. Car park, buildings, all that kind of stuff. We've come out of Raigmore and we are now heading back to Lossie. And we'll overfly Kinloss, which I've also got the Nick B007 Kinloss scenery as well, so it would be rude not to have a quick look at that. Give them a quick fly past. Why the hell not? But yeah, 30 minutes from Lossie, so that's not too bad at all. We're doing a reasonable speed, just blipping it forward a little bit. But the customization with this thing is incredible. What you've seen today is purely kind of automated, which is how I like to do it. How I like to do it from time to time. But if you only wanted to do a certain type of mission, or you wanted to do a mission at a certain point, you can do all that. You can select it all. You can customize it how you want it. But a lot of the time, I just like to see what it throws at me, and you never quite know. This one, for example, has been a relatively easy one. You know, we were pretty much just landing in the field, picking him up, hoiking him back to the hospital, and that was it. Sometimes you're winching from a mountain. Sometimes the patient is in a very poor state and deteriorating rapidly. So the pressure's on to fly the helicopter and get them back. And you know, it's a good point to, a good time to say, actually, I have a huge amount of respect for anyone who's doing this out there in the real world. To be flying a helicopter and concentrating on doing everything that you're meant to do with that, whilst having someone in the back potentially dying, is quite a responsibility. Does make me laugh just watching those stutters there. How in the sim you can fly one day and everything's peachy, and then fly another day and things are a bit strange. But I guess, you know, a lot of that is down to perhaps, you know, it being MSFS being so server based. Long by name, what is that map navigation system you're using there? Okay, so I'm guessing you've just joined. So just very quickly, on the tablet, I'm using the mission map. So that's part of the HEMS, it's part of the high performance group H145. And plugged into that is the HEMS Random and Anywhere mission builder, which is what's giving us our nav. That's what we're using for nav. Down there we've got a couple of TDS GTN XI 750s that we're not using for nav but are nonetheless operational. I hope that answers the question, but do feel free if there's anything else you want to ask. There's Nairn over there. There's someone quite famous who lives in Nairn, but I forget now who it is. It is a beautiful neck of the woods up here. So we're 10 minutes out, lads. Can you call the base and tell them to get the kettle on? Thank you. I did say we were going to have a look at Kinloss, and we will do. Let's just check. Is our course going to take us over? Yeah, it's not too far. Not too far. In fact, it's pretty much, yeah, bang on. It's now, back in the day when I was up here, it was a, predominantly it was Nimrod base, but now it's the army. But I believe Nick 007U has modelled it so that it's kind of as it was when Lossie was using it to house some of its aircraft. So we should see some Typhoons there. Oh wow! Long by name, thank you. Good God, I've done the unthinkable. I've done the unthinkable and I've left the blooming map on. Sorry. There you go. I'm glad you pointed that out. I'd left the map screen up. Waffling on like an idiot. And you lot were just staring at a map. Oh, that's a long name. Galerin in Insimbus. Yeah, you. So that was little nav map that you were having to endure for a longer than planned period. Apologies for that, everyone. I have a button on the loop deck, or buttons for different views, and I'd put it onto the map and then completely forgotten to switch it off. I was too busy yakking. So we could just see the approach lights at Kinloss. I am on multiplayer, so I'm just going to check. Okay, so what do we got? Just seeing who else is around. I don't want to ruin anyone else's day, so I'm just going to leave that up there. Still seeing a bit of that stutter. I'm almost tempted to change the server I'm on and see if that does anything. Yeah, why the hell not? Experimentation and all that online. So let's go Southeast Asia, because everyone always says that's the one that you should be doing. Just out of interest, what have I done? Okay, let's do this as well. That should be 32 and not 16. That's because I was messing about with it before. Don't worry, this won't take too long. It's marginally more interesting than the map screen, so don't worry. Full entertainment will be renewed. So I've just done that, and let's go back and let's see what it's like. Yeah, that's a bit smoother now. Not sure whether it was the server or the cache, but I do wonder if running with such a small cache might have done it. There's so many different views on cache size and that sort of thing. I always used to run with a huge one over something like 200 gigabytes, but I had read in quite a few places that actually causes issues because you've got such a big file to search through, so I just stick it onto 32 now. And we have David Bradshaw approaching in the wonderful OH-6A. Lovely helicopter, that. Nice little wave down to Kinloss. Of course, the lighting is so different up here because Lossie is so far north that the days in the summer are longer than down south, and they're shorter. So the kind of lighting that we're seeing here is, you can kind of see how low the sun is. Here we are coming over Kinloss. Excuse me, a little bit of stuttering going on there, but hopefully not as bad as it was. Okay, so we can see the approach lights for Lossie up ahead now. Let's have a look at what the wind is doing. So wind is 8 knots from 200, so we'll swing round, we'll do an approach onto 23 just for fun, and then we can hover taxi in. So at this point, let's decouple, heading mode, and then we'll just swing us round. There we go. So I'm just using the hat switch on the cyclic just to swing us around a little bit. There's the mountains. You can just see Ben Rennis through there. That's further down to the east, but you can Ben Rennis, which is the minimum safety altitude, or it's what defines the minimum safety altitude at Lossie, is just over there. Look at that! We've got an OH-6A coming with us. I love that helicopter. Such good fun. It's a real. It's my rotary Spitfire, as it were. If you want some seats at the seat of the pants, steam gauge, good old school helicopter physics, then that's it. And to be fair, the Huey is as well. Okay, so we are not far at all. Everything is looking fine here. I'm going to leave the VMS page up there for our approach. This helicopter will do an ILS approach, by the way. It will do a full ILS autopilot approach. I say full. It won't necessarily bring you to a full stop, but certainly not that I've tried. But it is very clever. Okay, have I still got... where's David gone? I've lost... I was just going to check if my labels were still up. There he is, yeah. Labels are still up. That's good. As I say, I just want to make sure, because I'm on multiplayer, if there is someone flying, I don't want to get in the way of their flight.
2 nautical miles from our base.
Be that irritating person that suddenly appears when you're on short finals going, hello! Oh! Okay, so let's have autopilot off. There's Cove Sea Lighthouse. We see the Navy in the distance. That's something you can add. Just gives, if you want to do a bit of carrier landing from Lossie, you can do. But, stutter is definitely back. So we'll just toot along the coast a little bit and then we'll turn in. There's the Navy. Hello Navy. Fly Navy. See the Poseidons there. Check again. Nothing going on there. There's a Brad in the distance, but I don't think he's coming in. So we're doing something akin to a curved warbird approach here, which I'm suddenly conscious of. Right, I'm just going to try something. There we go. Locking off the head tracking. I just want to see if that stuttering carries on, because I wonder if it's something to do with that. Yeah, it's a little bit. Okay, we need to hover taxi down this way. Keep it going. Say hello to the Poseidons. There's the fire section, and there's our base. And hopefully we'll see our ground crew. I think I can see our ground crew already. Yeah, I know what you mean. It does, Mark. Oh, it's my fault for reading the chat then and not flying the helicopter. There's our ground crew. Going.
Whoa, nice touch, Captain.
Yeah, you get another Mars bar, Sunshine. You're alright. You're the kind of crew I like. Okay.
Mission accomplished. Well done.
So let's wind everything down. So we'll have the transfer pumps off, landing strobe off, leave those on while we're still whirring things around. Have the LABCS off. We can turn the heating off. Whoa. There we go. Quick check down here, make sure the engine's running down nicely. Yeah, it is. We can acknowledge all that, that's fine because we've just switched a load of stuff off. Okay, let's have off, 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 off. We've still got blades going around, so I'm going to keep that there.
Landed. Crew deboard authorized.
Off you get, lads. Get the kettle on. There's our ground crew.
Hey, my perfect crew. Hi, guys.
That's the kind of ground crew you want, isn't it?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet again. Are you free for lunch?
Oi!
Yes,
None of
there's a
that.
good restaurant just out of here.
Good God, what's happening to this world? The crew hitting on the ground crew. Okay, so that's a good. Acknowledge that. Blah, blah, blah. Rotors have stopped. Let's now pop up here. We can have all the lights off now. Just another quick check that I haven't left any switches on. No, that's all good. So now we have battery off. And what happens now is that my avatar, my pilot, should we try that again? My pilot figure will jump out. There he goes. Where's she gone? Where's the ground crew? There she is. Oh, I've got to open the door, haven't I? Idiot.
How was the last mission? Was everything good with the helicopter?
Here we go. This
Hi,
is where we
Sarah,
find
how are
out.
you? Helicopter is good. Fuel need to be refueled.
Don't worry, the helicopter is now in my precious hands. It will be ready to fly for the next mission.
Thank you.
Excellent. There you go. So, basically that just means that we've done our thing. We haven't damaged the aircraft. If you overtalk it, then the message will come up saying, you know, there's some damage to the aircraft and that she needs to fix it. But that's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're out of that. What I'm going to quickly do, because I want to get rid of that wrong one. There we go. That's now coming out of the mission. We're getting it, for some reason the ground power unit was flickering there. That's why you were kind of hearing odd sounds and that sort of thing. So there was something going on funny with that. And there still is by the look of it. There we go. But anyway, there we go. We are down. That was great fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you you kind of get to see, you can see our ground power unit flickering in and out there. Not sure what's causing that, to be honest. It's an odd one. David, good to see you. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful helicopter? If you haven't got this and you like helicopters, I can heartily recommend it. It's great fun. It's probably the helicopter that I fly. I fly the H145 the most, and then this is the one I fly second. I was streaming it last weekend, not the one just gone, but the one before. Great fun. Anyway, wonderful to have you on board. As I say, hope you've enjoyed the flight. And I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.